Jake Paul, Joshua.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. Then I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
I'm a little fucked up, but will you take care of me forever and ever?
The notorious provocateur finally met his match. For years, fans speculated what would happen if the flashy YouTube sensation faced a legitimate heavyweight. On December 19th, we got a harsh answer. This wasn't just a defeat. It was a brutal reality check, leaving Jake Paul sidelined in the hospital.
What's up, guys? Day after the fight. Got out of surgery a few hours ago. They put a plate in my jaw, wired it up. Hurts to talk, so I'm gonna keep it short. Took the L, respect to the men across.
It's no longer about hype, trash talk, or pay-per-view numbers. This was a brutal lesson in the power of a knockout. Now, UFC President Dana White has finally spoken out, and his reaction is sending shockwaves to the combat sports world.
Is the burnt bridge with my brother unfixable?
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your fucking same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you fucking ate it. He's gonna fight Gervonta Davis.
Who do you got?
Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than Floyd, but he's too small. Your brother's gonna be able to get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up.
I hear your critique on fighting guys the same size as you. Is that why you guys wouldn't let me fight Conor?
Yeah, you're fucking huge. Conor weighs 145 pounds, 155 pounds.
Yeah, but he says he could beat me.
The sixth round was meant to be Jake Paul's moment to prove he belonged, but instead it marked the end of his bravado. At 131, Anthony Joshua landed a right hand so sharp and powerful that it didn't just stop the fight. It shattered Paul's composure and left him physically broken. After 5 rounds of evading the inevitable and surviving 4 previous knockdowns, Jake finally hit a wall he couldn't talk or fight his way through. As he collapsed to the canvas, the fiery confidence that had defined his career was replaced by the harsh reality of a double jaw fracture. This wasn't just a loss. It was a humbling defeat at the hands of a fighter who treated the bout with precision and patience until the decisive moment.
Or Jake would have moved around the ring at 100 miles an hour. There's 2 things I would have done. Tried to shut Jake down at 100 miles an hour, or I would have gone on the back foot. So Jake decided to move around the ring, and I decided to put the pressure on. What I could have done better is a lot of things. 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years. And the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you is that, Jake, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna see a time when I'm gonna take your soul and you're either gonna give up or you're gonna get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best. And I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me and Jake did. And secondly, even when he got knocked down, he kept on trying to get up. And I take my hat off to him. So America, I think you have someone who could potentially, if he still has the heart for it, come back again, dust the dirt off his shoulder and come again and maybe sell out this center sometime in 2026. Maybe against a Gervonta Davis, a Ryan Garcia, who knows?
The aftermath at the hospital has been nothing short of harrowing for the Paul camp. Surgeons at Miami University Hospital had to perform extensive work to repair his jaw, ultimately inserting 2 titanium plates on each side to stabilize the shattered bone. The damage was so severe that several teeth had to be removed, and Jake has been placed on a strict liquid diet for the foreseeable future. X-ray images circulating online show a jawbone snapped clean in 2, a stark reminder of a fight that many experts argue should never have been sanctioned. Despite the pain, Jake attempted a joke about wanting a bout with Canelo in 10 days, a comment that comes across more as a bid to stay relevant than a true display of toughness.
When Jake Paul lost to Fury, I haven't really paid attention to Jake Paul.
I have love for Jake too. I don't know. I don't know when a fight's happening. I really
all
don't.
the same. He fights older people that are smaller. It's all the same shit.
Am I not remembering correctly? Didn't Jake ask if you could make a amends between them?
I don't think it's ready for that yet.
Well, it's not that I don't hate Jake Paul. Jake Paul's doing his thing.
UFC CEO Dana White didn't hide his "I told you so" reaction when the news broke. For years, he's been one of the most vocal critics of the crossover boxing craze, and this outcome felt like full vindication. White was blunt, emphasizing that there are levels to the sport that no amount of marketing or YouTube hype can overcome.
Paul, what'd you think of the fight?
Oh, God. I think the gig is up. I'm just tired of Jake Paul as a boxer. I think he's done a fantastic job. He dressed up like Hulk Hogan. I just don't know how many more times Netflix is going to go to bat for him. But I think they will one more time because, you know, the axiom is basically if you draw money, you're going to be getting chance after chance until you're not drawing money. And then you'll still get a couple more chances after that because he did draw money. And that's kind of where he's at right now. You know, he's going to draw with Tyson. He's going to draw on this one. And so he's going to get a couple of more chances, you know, with Netflix. And they'll pay that, you know, good for him. They'll pay that money. But, man, these are, you know, this was just a bad fight. And made boxing look bad. Made boxing look bad in many ways. You know, especially it just was a circus, and the guy, you know, going for takedowns and the ref's not doing anything. I thought the ref was terrible. Thought Joshua, you know, was not good. Hurt himself, and then he even admitted it. And Jake was just out there not trying to win a boxing match. He was trying to survive and get the moral victory so he can go out there and be, you know, oh, you know, I lasted 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua. And he survived 6 rounds with him.
He survived all right.
But I
he
mean,
never quit. Like somebody I know.
The physical difference between the two fighters on fight night was striking. Joshua entered the ring at a commanding 243 pounds of lean muscle, embodying the stature of a 2-time unified champion, while Paul appeared noticeably smaller at 216 pounds. Analysts have likened the bout to a Tom and Jerry scenario, with Jake spending much of the fight evading, clinching, and doing whatever he could just to stay in it.
Appeared to carry Jake Paul for a while, but told me afterwards that he could see that Jake Paul was being evasive. I spoke to him personally, and he decided just to slowly marinate Jake Paul. Obviously hit him with a huge right hand midway through the 6th round to end the bout. Broke Jake Paul's jaw. He ended up in hospital, kind of rearranged his teeth a little as well, but was very clear afterwards to give great praise to the bravery, courage of Jake Paul that everybody saw. I mean, delusionally optimistic he really is. Jake Paul should go and fight YouTubers and influencers now. I don't think this kind of bout should be sanctioned again. But Joshua, of course, now wants to fight Tyson Fury. He's called him out, and I hope we get that fight in 2026 after both of them have had warm-ups. I understand Joshua will have a warm-up fight in Riyadh late in February 2026. It's all done here. It's over. It's a one and done. I hope it doesn't happen.
Even within the Paul camp, the tone has shifted from confidence to damage control. Logan Paul was seen defending his brother passionately, claiming Jake had actually won 4 rounds before the fight ended and praising his courage for continuing despite a serious jaw injury. However, the wider combat sports community isn't buying the hero narrative. Figures like Daniel Cormier and Carl Froch have been critical, suggesting that Joshua carried Jake into the later rounds primarily to entertain the audience before finishing the fight decisively. Froch went further, calling the event underwhelming and arguing that it did more to undermine the integrity of boxing than to enhance Jake's legacy.
Jake Paul was just on pure survival mode from round 1 right through to round 6. I don't know if he's got a moral victory going 6 rounds. Maybe he has. People might give him credit for going 6 rounds. But he got in there and just survived. He just went in there and ran like a chicken from round 1 right through to round 6 when he got splattered. And it's like, it's just, you can't really justify what he's done because this is supposed to be a professional professional sanctioned boxing match. And I think it brings the integrity of the sport down when somebody like AJ is a 2-time world champion, can't get in there and just completely dismiss somebody like Jake Paul, who I've said for ages can't fight. He's not a professional boxer. It's just AJ following him around, touching him to the shoulder. Round 1 came and went. Round 2 was much of the same, bit slow. I think AJ got caught with an overhand right at one stage, but sometimes when you're out in the rain, you're going to get wet. He was following him around, taking his eye off the ball, probably a bit undermotivated, thinking, what's this guy doing that's in front of me? Jake Paul was just running left to right, ducking low, falling on the floor, throwing a couple of wild swings, and one did get through, but it just bounced off AJ's chin like water off a duck's back. It was nothing. And then the only reason Anthony Joshua got the fight finished, the sad thing is, I think if Jake Paul was fit enough and he had the energy and the engine, which he hasn't got, because he's not a professional athlete. He goes in the gym every day and he trains and he's fit and he trains like a pro. But that don't make you a professional fighter. What makes you a professional fighter is building yourself up through the ranking system, earning your position in the professional sport.
Warnings from peers like Conor McGregor now feel almost prophetic. Before the fight, McGregor tweeted that the bout would be an easy payday for AJ and later suggested that Jake could be permanently affected by the encounter. He wasn't wrong. Taking a clean shot from a heavyweight champion doesn't just leave a bruise.
Round before getting his face caved in. Literally, you can see the x-rays of his jaw online. Jake did not beat the count after absorbing the right hand that broke his jaw, and AJ got the KO. Guys, let me come out and say the story to me coming out of this fight is Jake Paul. This dude is a maniac in the best sense of the word. And I'm not going to try and hear any Jake Paul slander today on the show. Guys, nope. He got in the ring with a former Olympic gold medalist and heavyweight champion of the world who's 37, he's not 45 years old. He's still fighting, guys. Dubois knocked him out. He was in that fight with Dubois. He was a top heavyweight. Yes. Yeah, Usyk beating him a couple times. Usyk, one of the all-time great fighters, and those were competitive fights. Yes. That Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul gave up enormous size, experience, talent, everything. And guys, let me tell you something. If all of us right now, you've been retired how many years?
10, 12.
10 years? I don't think combined, including you, Malik, we get into the 6th round with Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua is coming to hurt you, which he was, and Jake Paul was tackling his legs. He was trying to use takedowns. He was exhausted. Yes. He was running. Yeah! Are you joking? Right. No kidding! Yes. He's trying not to get killed. Yes. And by the way, I know it was a lot like William Skull and Canelo Alvarez, where Skull was kind of outlanding Canelo upstairs, but there was nothing on the shots. But the fact is, actually, Jake Paul landed more clean punches to the head than Anthony Joshua did before the end of the fight. What he did was amazing. Yes. And guys, he also did something else by taking this fight. What Jake did was retroactively justify fighting a guy like Tank Davis, or even trying to make that fight. Because what Jake is demonstrating here is, okay, everybody, you're accusing me of having to fight an ancient Mike Tyson, or a tiny Tank Davis, or an old MMA fighter. I'm really thinking about how to make a global event that people are interested in.
Social media has been a mix of I told you so, and genuine concern for the sport's safety. On platforms like Reddit and X, fans are acknowledging Jake's heart, but pointing out that he's far from world class. The hashtag #PaulJoshua hashtag is filled with clips of the final knockout, with many noting that the referee may have needed to intervene sooner. Even with titanium plates now stabilizing his jaw, Jake faces a critical crossroads. Return to his own weight class as a humble fighter, or continue chasing these risky, heavyweight matchups until the consequences could be even more severe.
But in the 6th round, you could just tell that this fight was over. You knew that Anthony Joshua was going to eventually land something that hurt Jake Paul. And you know how you know the boxing world wanted it to be brutal? Because Rosendo was sitting here and he goes, I hope he gets knocked out bad. He didn't want him to get TKO'd. They wanted Paul to get absolutely destroyed. And honestly, that right hand, oh my God, he took all of that right hand. You could see in his face, he was like, okay, now I understand boxing. Now I understand, at its worst, what boxing can be. Because he got hit clean by one of the biggest punchers acclaimed, a lot of accolades, world champion heavyweight, and he went down and didn't get up. And honestly, I was hoping he didn't get up because it was only going to get worse. I thought Francis should have stayed down when Joshua hurt him bad. But a lot of times fighters just don't really want to give up on themselves, and that's why they get hurt worse. But it was exactly what it needed to be tonight for this fight and for this fight. It was fun. It was crazy at times with the wrestling and all the grabbing and the clinching, the referee saying the fans didn't pay for this shit, all the dirty tactics. And it ended in the way that it should.
The lesson from December 19th is clear. You can't shortcut your way into the heavyweight elite without paying the price. Anthony Joshua didn't just win a fight. He reminded the world that boxing is about more than views or followers. It's about the physics of power. While Jake Paul may have earned millions from the gate, he's learning that no amount of money can turn a liquid diet into a victory. This wasn't just a knockout. It was a hard lesson in the realities of the sport.
Big fair play to Jake Paul. Like, Jake Paul done what anyone would do if they stepped in the ring with an experienced fighter that they know they can't compete with. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if me and you was to spar, if you want to not get KO'd immediately, you don't stand in the middle and engage with me. Why would you do that?
I'll take my chances, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hugging.
Make it ugly as you can.
What else are you supposed to do? You're clearly not going to defeat me if you decide to box me. So you have to use something else. That's what Jake done. He done it for as long as he could. He realized AJ's strong. I'm not going to battle with him in the clinch. I'm just going to drop to the ground. As I've said, my guy, that referee, he refereed Jake and Anisam Kib. He knows that ref. He thought that ref would allow him. In his mind, you see, when you're the A side and you ain't seen the dirty side of boxing, you think that everything and everyone around it's in your favor. He thought that referee was going to let him keep falling, pick him up, just dust off his gloves, and continue the fight. When the referee said to him, bro, stop doing that, he was thinking, oh my God, even the ref that knows me, yeah, is on me. AJ's on me. My corner's on me. The ref's on me. I'm getting tired. This guy's strong. Like, that is literally what happened. But who could blame him though? Like, I rate Jake for doing what he done tonight. Like, he lasted for as long as he could, and that was the mission.
We want to hear from you. Do you think Jake Paul can stage a comeback after such a devastating defeat? Who should he face next? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our upcoming content. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.